Back to Tarot by the Bay, I'm David. Who's ready for a little bit of conspiracy theory stuff? Okay, here's your potato chips and pretzels. Get out your beer, get out your pretzels and potato chips. We're going to dive into some conspiracy stuff. Uh, as most of you know, I typically don't go into the conspiracy theory things, but this one's kind of fun because there might be a there. Um, what is it with Putin and gifts? You know, in Helsinki 2018, he gives Trump a soccer ball. Now, they did see there was a transmitter chip in the logo of the soccer ball. And there's a ace of coins just popped up, giving things a value. And I don't think it's the soccer ball that's a value. And I'll get to that in a second. There was a chip in there, but the company that I think it was Adidas was the soccer ball maker said, yeah, we put a transmitter chip in there and it gives you information on things and stuff like that, but you have to hold like a camera or something like that really close to get the information. It's not like, you know, transmitting secret codes or something like that. Now, that doesn't mean that that was the chip that was in there, but that's how the soccer ball normally comes. And the chips can be replaced with something else. Clearly wasn't highly explosive because, well, we still have Trump. The second thing was Tucker Carlson, when he did his interview with Vladimir Putin after Putin was waxing poetically for a long time about the great history of the Soviet Union and how it should be reformed, he gives Tucker Carlson a binder with documents in it to ostensibly help Tucker better understand the history and that Putin isn't making stuff up. Okay, so the soccer ball and the binder themselves may not be the item of value, the ace of coins that was popping up as I was overhand shuffling. Bear with me on this. You know, it looks like a gift that's the leaders give to each other. But it seems really weird, doesn't it? You know, a binder of documents. So I'm wondering if this is a different way of sending coded messages. Uh, you know, basically, it's like if you had a code book, and if Putin gives you a soccer ball, you go to the code book and you look it up, and that has a specific meaning or something along those lines. In other words, it's not the object itself that's value, it's what the object represents, what the name of the object is, or something like that. So, like, there's some other communication going on that would say, you know, if you get a soccer ball, then that means do this. If you get a pin, it means do that type of thing, you know, an either or type situation. So I want to look into Putin's gifts of the soccer ball and the binder of documents to see, are these coded messages for something else? Okay, that's where we're gonna go with this conspiracy theory. Come on down, let's have a little bit of fun and dive into the wonderful world of conspiracy theories. The soccer ball means push Ivana down the stairs, like a soccer ball bouncing down the stairs. Because that's my other big conspiracy theory is Ivana's sudden death. And not to laugh at her death, that's not funny, but it's just sort of the wow. Wouldn't have made that connection until just now. Just like a ball. You should have given her a slinky, you know? If we ever find out that Putin gave Trump a slinky, then you'll know that Ivana was a Russian agent and Trump was told to take her out. All right? So we'll look for the Russian slinky gate when that comes through. All right, entertainment purposes only. I'm starting off on a very bad foot here. I'm going to hell. I'll probably see some of you down there with me when I have to answer for this reading. All right, what do we got? Ace of Wands. So looking at the general energy around Putin with gifts, it's Ace of Wands. It's something to take action with. It's not just hand. You know, I have had two aces so far. One that popped up during the shuffle, and now this one. The Ace of Coins is handing over something valuable, but that something valuable that he's handing over is a call to action. It's telling them to do something. This is beyond just giving a gift for the simple fact of giving a gift. This is a call to action. And it's a way of communication. and it's quick communication because it's visual, it's broadcast for everybody to see. Both of these things were being broadcast on TV. So it's not necessarily to Trump, it's not necessarily to Tucker Carlson. They're both idiots, and we can debate whether or not they're useful idiots, but they're both idiots. And just because you give it to Tucker doesn't mean that Tucker was supposed to get the message. This could be for other people to get the message. It could be Russian agents. It could be Americans in Congress that are compromised, and they've now got their marching orders. Yeah. Russian agents wouldn't be a bad idea, but people who are bound to you, who are helpless to you, watching Lindsey Graham twist himself into pretzels, Chuck Grassley doing just crazy stuff, Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and all these people, Josh Hawley, all these people who like Josh Hawley, I don't think was a senator at the time, but all these people that seem to be really pro-Russia, it's like they've drunk the Kool-Aid, or they're being held with compromat or something along those lines. They saw the gift, and they know what it means. Now, again, the soccer ball could be just push your ex-wife down the stairs before she reveals stuff, but the documents, okay, so like Tucker Carlson with the documents. We know Russia hacked into the RNC and DNC servers. We know Russia released the DNC servers and caused embarrassment and resignations on the DNC and gave the RNC ammunition for the 2016 election. Now you show that binder of documents again, basically saying, if you pass this Ukraine funding, all these emails that I have of yours are about to be released. And you can see how that would play out. That was a message. And what happened right after that? Mike Johnson fled town and sent the House Republicans home for 2 weeks. Doesn't matter that there's a budget coming up. The Senate just passed a bill funding Ukraine that Putin absolutely does not want passed. And then what's the next message coming through? A couple days later, Navalny is killed. Way too many coincidences. They'll say there's no such thing as coincidences in the world. No, in Russia, there really aren't coincidences when it involves Putin. Those are messages, okay? And the message is clear. And it's the message is being sent to those being held hostage by him, which I would really think is members of the House and Senate in the GOP. Again, if you ever wonder why it seems like the GOP is really being pro-Russian, it's because Russia's got them, is holding them hostage. And they're too ashamed to actually do the right thing, which is, talk to the FBI and get themselves out of this mess. You knew this card was going to come up, didn't you? The devil in the past, right? These are the people, like our July 4th group of senators that were going to go to Russia and tell Putin to stay out of our election because they're going to be really tough. I bet you they all got soccer balls. You know what I mean? No, these are people that have willingly aligned themselves with Putin in Russia, and thus have also aligned themselves with Trump because Trump has also aligned himself with Putin in Russia. These people have done this to themselves. Whether it's through money, sex, power, whatever it was that, or compromise. So, it's carrot or the stick. It's the stick if it's compromise, it's carrot through the normal ways of compromising politicians. These people have done it to themselves. And Putin knows it. And he's a former FSB agent, KGB. So he's going to use every tool he can to get whatever he wants. When you drink, this is to me, the women celebrating victories and celebrations. I think this is kind of like the cheers, raise your glass to Putin type of thing. When he sends these messages, he expects people to sing his praises. Whether that is to go on social media and badmouth the Democrats, or to compliment Putin, or more to the point, I think what this is when he sends that message, he expects people to do what he tells them to do. Right? I've sent you a message. I'm sitting on this information. You know you're stuck. Time to dance for me. Time to dance for daddy. Because if you don't, bad things are going to happen to you. You might fall out the window of a very, very tall building. Some information may come through that exposes dirty deals that you've been involved with. You know, your office in Kentucky might catch on fire, and then all those documents burn right up. All that type of stuff. The lesson to be learned: Putin will come calling whenever he wants. You are stuck. When I want you, you will answer. When I tell you what to do, you will do it. Otherwise, bad things will happen to you. The only way out for these folks is justice. Either they keep playing along, they get out of politics, or they go to the FBI. The alternative to that is involuntary justice, where the FBI uncovers everything that's going on and they start coming after you. In the end of the day, the bill will be paid. At the end of the day, Putin will be gone. He won't always be in charge. And the next guy or the person after that might be a little bit friendlier to the United States and be willing to share that information. They would trade it for stuff. About these sanctions here, we'd like them lifted, and we're willing to give you this information in order to get those sanctions lifted. I mean, what do you think the U.S. what sanctions do you think the U.S. would lift in order to find out who the traitors have been in the Senate and the House? You think that's some valuable information there? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Were Trump or Tucker Carlson aware? I should lump them together, but let's do it anyways. Are Trump and Tucker Carlson, are they aware that they're being used as a tool? Trump, yeah. Let's see. I wouldn't trust Trump with the information. King of Wands. Somebody's taking action. Two of Pentacles. Compromised values. I think this is Putin taking advantage of their compromised values. Yeah, and there's your messaging again. Sending messages to folks who have compromised values. This is not just Putin and this is not just Trump and Tucker Carlson. This is probably to the people that are supposed to receive the messages from the King of Wands. Let's see if there's anything in here that indicates that Trump and Tucker Carlson are witting idiots with this one. In the past, the Eight of Coins. My gut tells me that Trump suspects there's a message with it, but he's kind of, just rolls with it. Tucker Carlson should know there's a message with it, but he's okay with it because he's more concerned about Tucker Carlson than he is about anything else. And the reason why I'm saying that is we got the money card here and the working on things of value. So for Tucker, it's just like he wants that fame. He wants that fortune that goes with it. With Trump, it's the quid pro quo Putin's given Trump a lot of stuff, and if holding a soccer ball and mugging for the cameras is all he has to do, he's willing to do it. He doesn't. It's like Trump doesn't question it. He knows there's something. He knows there's likely something behind there, and there's messaging, but he doesn't care. He doesn't really care. Tucker knows that there's messaging behind it, but he has other priorities. That's kind of the thing I'm getting here. And things coming to an end. Okay, the question, I have to remind myself, what's the question? The question is, are they aware of what was going on? If they weren't before, they are now. And I think that they both know that their messaging has brought certain things to an end or to a close. Whether it's their personal, like for Trump, it's going to be his personal career, because Putin's pretty much abandoned Trump. You know, he wasn't much of a king here. This long pause as I'm trying to think of, okay, let's look at the positive and the negative on this one and which one's resonating more. Let me throw some more cards in. I'll come back to them. There's your messaging, and there's the Emperor, and then the Knight of Swords. King is sending his message to those of compromised values. You know, he's worked hard to gain these people, you know, bribery, whatever, to gain these people into there to compromise their values. Okay, I think what this is more saying is the people with the values compromised, they're done. They're done and dusted. It's kind of like that Eight of Swords card. Yeah, and I'm speaking faster, which means I'm channeling. Yeah. It means they're done. They're stuck. They cannot get out of this situation. They're so entangled in the spider web that they just have to do what it is, or else they're done and dusted. So the message comes through, and they've got to carry through the message that it is. Otherwise, Putin will bring them down, and he will do it quickly. So it's not telling me if Trump and Tucker are aware of the messages. If we're just to be reasonable, the answer is yes. They've got to be aware. Tucker more so than Trump. Trump doesn't, again, he's not the most intellectually curious person out there, is the way they put it. In other words, Trump believes what he believes, and he's not interested in learning anything new. Tucker Carlson is a bit more clever and crafty, if you will. Trump's great at manipulating people and leveraging people and eating people's morals and ethics from the edges. Tucker Carlson's just smarmy. So Tucker Carlson's more like, he's just, he knows, but Tucker Carlson knows but doesn't care. Trump doesn't care either. He just may not be fully aware, and he's not curious enough to know. How about that? So Trump is kind of like an unwitting, useful idiot, and Tucker Carlson is a witting, useful idiot. Oh, there's the Ace of Swords. So that's 3 aces that have now popped up. Ace of Coins, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. So, yeah, I think Spirit's saying, yeah, you pretty much nailed it. You've got the point. You've nailed the point. Witting versus unwitting, useful idiots. Where's my t-shirt? I need a new t-shirt. I don't have any t-shirts. You'd be good Tucker Carlson and Trump. Witting idiot. Unwittingly idiot. Duh. Soccer ball. What was the meaning of the soccer ball? Can you tell me what the meaning of the soccer ball was? Down the stairs. For entertainment purposes only. Yeah, stealing something. It was a message about taking things that didn't belong to you, stealing something that had to be done quickly. And there's the other ace. We got all the aces now. The soccer ball was about taking things that didn't belong to you, about sneaking off and doing something as part of a plan. So, the messaging to the people on there was, go forward with the plan that we have presented to you. It's time for you to do things. What are the things that they're doing? It's playing on people's strong emotions. They have to act quickly on this one. This reminds me of the courts. I'm wondering if there was any decisions in Congress or the courts or funding or something along those lines. This is almost like and again, it's just because of the stuff with Ukraine. It's almost like messaging about the U.S. and NATO, because it's like they wanted. I'll have to pause this at some point and look up when Trump really started hammering on NATO and wanting to pull the U.S. out of NATO. What the rough timeline is between this and that, because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like advancing Putin's plan for the U.S. to pull its support or its funding from NATO. And making NATO weaker would allow Putin to start his move against Ukraine, because that's his passion. But NATO's the only thing staying in his way. So you've got to weaken NATO so that Putin can get his plan underway. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting of what the soccer ball is. It's almost like, this is the World Cup type of thing. It involves countries around the world, mostly European countries, and the game is afoot. That type of thing. Let's see. I'm loath to pause the video. But I'll try here. Hang on for a second. Let's see. Pause. And we're back. So, quick Google search. Trump blasts NATO members sending leaders into emergency crisis session. This is reported on July 12th, 2018. The Helsinki meeting was like July 18th. Yeah, July 16th. 4 days later is Helsinki. In the soccer ball. Is he giving Trump the game ball? Way to go. That's exactly what I wanted. And I guess Trump numerous times in 2018 was threatening to pull the U.S. out of NATO. So, yeah. I'm thinking those two were linked. Now, Tucker Carlson and the documents. Documents. Is that Trump has some documents I want in a closet, Mar-a-Lago, go get them. They're in boxes. Is that you all better do, the Republicans better do what I'm telling you to, because otherwise all these emails and things are coming out. I do think it's the latter. What's the box? The historical box of documents. Historical box of documents. What's the message behind that one? Let's see. My cards are upside down. Let's put them right side up. King of Pentacles. The thing of, appeasing the wealthy man. Trump is wealthy. Putin's even more wealthy. It's like, it's time to bring tribute. People are nervous. Oh, they are nervous. They're looking over their shoulder like, oh, I can't believe he wants us to do this. You got the Hermit, the values, and the planning. So the documents, the king is calling in tribute and favors. And he's like, it's like The Godfather with the fellow that ran the mortuary, who was asking the Godfather to beat up the two boys that raped his daughter, and he said, I'll be coming back for you for a favor one day. This is that day. Okay. Forgive me for not remembering the character's name. Michelle would know it in a second, because she's way more Italian than I am. Okay. She's not by ethnicity, by the way, but she loves that movie. So the Godfather is calling in his favors. It's time to pay the tribute. You knew this day was coming, and now it's time. Because it's like the hermit's like, I've been looking at your emails, and I know everything there is to know about you. They have been. It's like they've been doing everything they can to appease him, trying to put off this day. But that day is here, and they know what he wants them to do, and it's about funding. It's about budgets and funding. Yeah, so I do think the documents are here. I do think that Putin does absolutely not want that funding for Ukraine to go through. And what do you know? That bill gets passed right around the time Tucker Carlson's in Russia. And now a big binder of documents. No, like a binder like, the one that's missing, that's had the whole Russia investigation, that kind of binder, that kind of details everything, has all the evidence in it. I'm not saying that Putin has that binder and just gave it to Tucker Carlson, but what I'm saying is it's a metaphor for the same thing. You've got a collection of documents that spells out a story that the intelligence agencies and such would absolutely love to have against you, and law enforcement would love to have against you, and use it against you. Because Putin doesn't play nice. He doesn't have to play nice. And he doesn't have to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't like to. Okay. For the useful idiots out there, one last thing. Will the funding for... I guess right now I want to look at the... okay, fine. No. We're in conspiracy theory land. No honest, like, oh, will the Republicans do the right thing? No. It's a conspiracy theory. Was Ivana Trump a Russian agent? Come on, you gotta know. You want to know the answer to that. Entertainment purposes only. This is conspiracy theory fun. This is purely for fun. Get your potato chips out. Enjoy the time. We'll all have a good laugh. And go about our day. Was Ivana Trump the Russian spy that people like to think she is? A burden. I can imagine being married to Donald Trump's a burden. Now, to be fair, her father had a relationship with Russian intelligence. And they pointed her towards Trump. So it's not an unreasonable ask. Family friend just happens to be really high up in the KGB. I don't remember the exact link, but there were links there. And I think he was like in Poland or something like that, but he was like in contact with the head KGB agent that was in Poland. So, it's a burden. And maybe this is a family burden here. Page of Swords, young female spy in the camp. I can't say no on this one. They might have been trying to recruit her for that. Queen of Cups, keeping your emotions in check. She was in Czechoslovakia and she was Polish, right? Anyways, Queen of Cups, keeping your emotions. I'm not going to say no on this one so far. Let's see. Good God, my deck's all over the place here. Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands, the turmoil. I could see her father being put in a very difficult position to have his daughter be used as an agent. It caused all sorts of internal conflict between himself and her and stuff like that. But it was basically, you got to do this for me, or else, you got to do this for me. You got to do me a solid here. Then the Sun card comes out. Truth is revealed. Why would they even care about Trump all the way back then? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's about collecting pieces and never knowing quite where those pieces are going to fit in life. But, maybe one day you'll understand. Or maybe one day it'll be revealed that she was acting as an agent. We'll find out the truth on that one way or another. Then they have to go overseas. Going overseas to calm things down. That romantic gondola ride with Donald. Wheel of Fortune. It got things going with it. And then Two of Wands, kind of like Putin. Okay, now that you're in place, we'll let you know when your next assignment is. Keep your mouth shut. I'm not going to say anything about anything. But just the fact that this is the card for spy in the camp. And yeah, I think, let's put it this way. If she was, and I'm not saying she is, but if she was, I could see her father being I could see her being an unwilling spy, not a willing one. And I could see why they might go after Trump again, because you never know when you're going to need the power and influence that was this guy and figure him out. It's a tool. He's just a tool. And, Putin apparently has been or Russian agents have been working with Trump for decades, trying to get, basically change the landscape so that he would have an opportunity to do what he did in 2016. I do think we will find out the truth about it. At some point, some of that information will come out, and then we'll know. We'll know if she was or wasn't. But let's end that. We'll end the conspiracy theory with that one. I hope you enjoyed this this potato chip and beer and pretzel reading. It's again for fun, for entertainment purposes only. Lord only knows how much of this is true and how much of it isn't true. Just some random dude on the internet reading tarot cards. Anyways, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes and your shares and your comments and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel recently, this is not the normal reading. This is one of those weird one-offs that I do because I get a wild hair in my brain and then I'm just going to go have fun with it. So I hope you had fun with it too, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.